Welcome, everybody, to Nothing Less Than Extraordinary. And I'm super excited. And it's finally happened. I'm actually having Manny Lopez on my show. Thank you, Manny Lopez, for being with us. Thank you for taking your precious time from your family and children to be on this podcast.
Oh, excited to be here. Let's get this party started.
Oh my God. And he has such an amazing story too. Going from foster home to building the life and the career that he has and touching so many lives. I can't wait because orphans and foster, it's something that I also it's very deep to my heart as well, aside from veteran as well. So let me do a brief introduction of Manny. Manny helps and enhance speaker, coach, author, and consultant with regards to strategic PR opportunity and dynamic system of automation, which I got the opportunity to assist his 3 days live events for the past 2 days. And we have another amazing one tomorrow. So we can share that. So those who wants to hop on and see it, definitely. Oh, but I realize I'm actually pre-recording my stuff, but you'll get to learn about so many more events of Manny in the future. So you want to definitely check that out. Manny is a loving husband. He has a beautiful wife and 3 adorable children. I love seeing them once in a while on the stuff, and the costume for the Christmas all matching. Oh my God, that is so damn cute. And also, he devoted his time in creating a lifestyle of being. So, too blessed to be stressed. I love it. Love the tagline. I'm going to let Manny explain of so many variety because that's just a gist, a small gist of what he does. I'm going to let him expand that, but that's just a little picture of what he does here. So, Manny, if you want to add stuff, definitely join in because I don't want to stumble and do all of the wrong things. So, if I forgot anything, please add some.
Oh, we'd be here all day if I just kept trying to list everything off. I keep myself pretty busy.
Yes, exactly. But I do like the tagline of too blessed to be stressed. Definitely. If you are reaching at the level when you really enjoy life and is feeling extremely grateful, that's how you generate abundance. That's the way I feel about life. And who needs stresses anyway?
Right? We don't want to be too stressed to be blessed. We want to flip that around.
Yes, exactly. So, Manny, the topic of today is how to serve your way to success. And I want you to be able to tell us a little bit about how your life story started and how you got to be in the career that you are, because it's quite an inspiration.
Well, I'm 11 years in now in business. And over the years, I've developed and kind of really discovered a lot of different strategies that work well for me. And I teach them to others. And serving your way to success is one of those strategies. It's really the idea that you can teach a process freely without fear that it would be taken away from you or anything like that. For me, it's like if I share the process, the more I share it, the more detailed I get into it, it seems like the more people I attract that actually need what I do. So if you're watching this, you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a speaker, a coach, author, consultant, and you teach a process, you talk about a certain topic that you have experience with. The serving your way to success is really just being super transparent in what it is that you do and being very strategic in how you engage with people around that topic.
And he does an amazing job. I mean, I don't know how many years of practice and coaching I will definitely need in order to get to that level because Manny does it so well. I mean, like I said previously to him, like his 90 minutes course and training is like dot. There's no wasted time. He's quite concise. He summarized it well. I took so much notes. It's crazy. So if I can actually remember a couple of them and be able to apply it well, like you had said, one of the thing is sharing those material to people. Most of the people don't actually apply them. It sounds great. It's amazing. And they're like, I should try it or I'm going to do it later on. And they never do put it into practice. And so the one thing I've learned in being in social work is that it's one thing to know, it's another to put it into application. It's all in application, practice, 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 practice. So Manny, tell me about your story because you grew up in a foster home, right?
Yes, I spent many years in foster care. I ended up getting adopted, but at the end of the day, I still ended up like a lot of these kids that don't. My big focus is to reverse the 2 out of 3 kids that are aging out of foster care, the ones that never got adopted, and show them, right now, 2 out of 3 of these kids are ending up dead, homeless, or in jail within a year of leaving the system. I want to see 2 out of 3 of these kids have a mentor, understand entrepreneurship, and own their own business. It's what
Mhm.
I ended up doing. I was homeless twice by the time I was 25, but I found a mentor that instilled with me a concept, the original concept of being too blessed to be stressed, and really looking for a way to build my own dream versus waiting for permission to build someone else's. Once that mentality flipped in my head, it was really like fear was thrown out the window. So, growing up, it was a lot of just trying to prove myself, wanting to have something of my own and not really knowing a route of how to go about doing that. I just thought, well, I heard doing that and heard doing that and heard doing that. And so I'd just throw a bunch of stuff to the wall to see what sticks. Most of it didn't stick until I found a mentor that
Mhm.
said, Manny, you need to go build your own business. You need to go build your own dream. Then I found entrepreneurship as a vehicle to do that, to actually go and build my own dream. And
Mhm.
using faith as a foundation that I'm truly building something that is not just for me. My chaos will one day become someone else's survival guide.
Oh, I love that. But it matches so well with your concept of you teaching, creating your own space. Come on.
Exactly, right? It all lines up. It all lines up.
It all makes sense. They connect.
Exactly.
But definitely. And how when you were going through, because you were telling me how before you actually got your mentor, before actually meeting Les Brown, how you were actually in the victim mentality of, but they don't really know my story, they don't know the hardship. We all have that, that kind of imposter syndrome, and also like the victim mentality as well. How did you actually broke free from that?
It was seeing examples. That was the thing for me, right? For many, many years, every time I'd see somebody successful, I'd have an excuse to why I didn't have to be successful, right? Oh, well, they didn't go through foster care. They didn't go through the suffering I went through. They don't have a childhood like I had. Or I could always just come up with an excuse until my mentor said, you know what? You should listen to this guy by the name of Les Brown. He
Mhm.
was in foster care like you. He's adopted like you. He had to go through challenges like you. He had to go through difficulties in school like you. Like all these things that I was like, those are my crutches. Those are my reasons why I didn't have to succeed. And then seeing this guy had all of the same ones that I'm sitting there with and he's succeeding. And I was like, it is possible for me.
Mhm.
And then immediately, like, it was like the fear just was out the window. It wasn't more of like, oh, there's a reason why I can't do it. Now it's like there's a there's a way, there's a path. I just need to figure out how to learn from that path. And that's
Mhm.
where the mentorship came in. It's finding somebody who's already at least a decade ahead of you. They've accomplished what you've already trying to accomplish, and they're willing to teach you. And
Mhm.
that's the big difference maker. That was the shortcutting of the learning curve. I didn't have to go just try and try and try and fail and fail and fail. I could just watch what they did, learn that process, and implement it so I can get similar results.
Mhm. And I think that's why it's becoming more and more now, like this industry, like coaching and all of that, it's become like billions and billions of money. I think if I'm not mistaken, Manny, you can correct me. It's become the most lucrative area in terms of the field of building a business, because people want to know what is the shortcut of being able to overcome various challenge, various difficulty, or whatever it is that you're good at, right? So
Exactly.
it's no longer like yes, therapy used to be very popular, but now it's like I don't want to just therapy. I want somebody who's gone through it before me, who knows the in and the out and the shortcut to make me be able to skip like 5 years of having to do it myself.
Exactly. That's the difference maker. It's the experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like this last couple of days, I've been teaching you guys for 90 minutes a day. So literally for 3 total hours,
Hmm.
I've condensed over 10 years of experience
Hmm.
that you don't have to now walk through, that you don't have to go waste your time trying to figure it out. I could just say, okay, instead of doing this, do it this way.
Yeah.
Right. Remember that one slide? I did all these different strategies a certain way. And I'm like, well, if I was to do that again, that's not the route I would go. It was
Hmm.
effective. It brought the results I wanted, but there was a better way to do it that
That's
made it more streamlined, that saved massive amount of time. And that's what people are paying for. They want to shortcut the learning curve. They don't want to have to go spend years to do it. It makes more sense just to spend the small amount of time or the amount of money needed to bring in the expert that knows how to solve that challenge.
That's right. And also, like when you hire a coach, it's like you're in this, there's a beautiful comparison, like an analogy. You're in this forest where you can barely see through of what is the most crucial element in it. Like, you're going through a challenge, you're like asking your coach, I don't know how to solve this kind of problem. And they know, he or she knows what is the big picture of what you need to see, because you can't see it yourself, but they see the big picture and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. You can be working on a million direction, like, kind of like what you had said, Manny, like throwing it out there to see what sticks, right? And then here is a mentor that will tell you, okay, I've tried all of that, this is what's going to stick.
Right? It's like the maze analogy I was giving you guys,
Hmm.
where, you could be trying to figure out the path through the maze all on your own. You're just bumping into a wall. You have to go back here. You're trying to remember if you went left or right last time.
Yeah.
And, versus a coach or a mentor who's already above the maze, right? They've already built a whole building above the maze to overlook every scenario. They can just point you in the right direction. Hey, just go left right there. Okay. Go up a couple steps there, make a right up there, go around that way. So they already know the path, and that's the big difference maker, and it all just comes down to time, right? How much time do you want to invest in learning a skill versus actually implementing that skill to get results?
And what are some of the struggle that when you look back 10 years back, what was the difference? Because we all goes through up and down. Even when you become extremely successful, you're going to hit there will be downtime, and that's like a rebuilding time. It's an opportunity of creating and building. I see adversity nowadays as a gift, an opportunity in disguise. It's a matter, it's become a game to me, like
Mhm.
what's the hidden treasure behind this opportunity? Not that it's always fun, because I don't
Yeah.
think it's always cool. I need a break from them once in a while, but when they do appear and you have no
Don't
other
collect them.
option.
Yeah. Don't become a collector of chaos. That's not fun, right?
No, that's it.
I think it's kind of the trial and error, right? Of going through things, and you have to see that that fails, that didn't work, right? It's like, if you take that maze analogy, it's like bumping into the wall or being stuck in some area in that maze that you just don't know how to get out of. But
Mhm,
once you're out of it, right? You now know never turn right on that area. I'll get stuck again. So it doesn't even phase you that you just missed that chaos again, which brought you to a better opportunity, right? It's almost the whole reasoning of too blessed to be stressed. I could be in the midst of the chaos, but if I focus on the blessings, focus on the things that are positive, it can distract me from keep going down those wrong areas and getting stuck. I can focus on what actually works, what gets results, and just hone in on that.
mhm. And what was those blessing that you hung on to that kept you going to doing the career that you're doing now? What are those blessing that really had given you the strength and the power to continue going on forward with your mission?
It's definitely the big goal, right? You have big goals that will keep you driven to where you're always chasing that bigger win, right?
Mhm,
And it isn't to say that it's an income win or something like that. For me, it's reversing the statistic. I want to see 2 out of 3 of the kids have a mentor, understand entrepreneurship, own their own business that are aging out of the foster care.
mhm,
That's going to require a lot of movement. That's require a lot of solutions coming to the table. Solutions I don't currently have yet. I have to create them. I have to figure out a way to manifest them, right? And
mhm,
at the end of the day, it's, if you focus on the big picture while also having appreciation for what small things you have in life, for me, that's family. It's the ability to turn on my lights. It's the ability to turn on my water. It's the ability to turn on the heater, and just the little things that I know I've felt what it's like to not have those things, and to have them and appreciate them, and to stay humble in knowing that they could be taken from you at any time. That's what that excitement of life is truly about for me.
mhm,
It's not having these, making 6 figures a month and 6 figures a day, or trying to be a millionaire or a billionaire.
mhm,
That money comes and goes. It's the things that money can't truly buy that you can appreciate, like family,
mhm,
right? And then having the ability to be able to provide is a blessing in itself. I could be sitting in a coma right now, my family figuring out a way to put food on the table. And, that's again another small blessing. Most people don't realize that they
Mhm.
have the ability to engage and promote and talk and hear and feel. And so it's a big difference maker if you can fully understand that.
I love it because, honestly, I always say, like, I mean, I'm not, for some people it doesn't work for them, but for me, I always say it could be worse. Like, and not that I would want it to be worse, but I say in my situation, if I'm going through a hard time, let's say I'm going through some financial something, definitely invested into crypto was the worst thing that I did in the period. But yeah, I mean, it's part of life. I'm like, what's the bigger goal here? But I see it as it's part of the journey, is part of the learning. So I don't, and luckily I'm not very much attached to money. I used to have a hard time seeing money. I always associate money as something evil because my grandfather was a monk. So we can't really ask for money. If you're a monk, you can't ask for things and stuff. It's more like what's given to you for free. And so I associate doing good deeds, money is evil. Now I actually changed that mentality. I haven't fully overcome that. But I've learned to, thank God I'm not attached to money. So it's not something that hurts me badly. But I do understand that I always think of the one quote that money is not evil. If you are a good person, the more money you have, it only brings out those quality that it's already possessed in you. If you're a person who is very hold on to money and is greedy, well, that money will expand more of those traits. So I'm like, oh phew, okay, so I'm good. So I just want to be able to generate enough money to be able to fuel other people's dream, young entrepreneurs dream with big vision, because I'm a dreamer girl and I love seeing dream comes to reality. And I'm trying to realize my dream and learning from you and learn from so many before me that have overcome so many obstacles to be able to share your wisdom and your system to people. So I'm very grateful for that. Manny, I want to be able to also see with you, like, was there a moment where there is much tougher time where, as an entrepreneur, you have to be so creative in the way you do business. You always kind of have to learn new things and kind of keep up to date with what's going on. I find that overwhelming at time. So what do you do to stay sane with, hearing this and that? You should try this and that. I become completely like mixed up in the whole thing.
I get focused. I get focused on what actually gets results.
Yeah.
So, an example, Clubhouse, right? I'm not on Clubhouse. I don't do Clubhouse stuff, right? There
Mm,
was a whole time where Clubhouse was all the craze and every single entrepreneur was getting on it. I just decided I'm no longer adding my business to new social media platforms. I
mm,
have Facebook does well, Instagram and LinkedIn, whatever. Facebook is my bread and butter for a lot of my business stuff. So I
okay.
just double down on Facebook and continue to stay there. I've got
Mm,
a client of mine. She went from single mom,
mhm,
$0, completely broke, to
mm,
over $2 million in sales in 3 years. What does she do? She just got one offer in one area of distribution that was working for her and just honed in. She's not doing 15 different things. She doesn't have 27 different offers. She has one offer. Very simple. Just be consistent on finding a process that works. Double down, triple down, quadruple down. Once you see the results, that's what's creating your opportunities. You don't have to have 27 different income streams when you're not even getting results with one. And
mm,
that's where a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle, is that they don't do it the right way. If you're going to go and they hear all this constant thing, millionaires have 5 to 7 different income streams and blah 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 blah, right? And so new entrepreneurs will go out and think, well, I need to have 5 income streams then. And before they even got results with one, they're trying to manage five. It makes no sense. What you're supposed to do is you get one income stream that works. You generate a lot of results with that, enough results to where you can now delegate someone else to manage it. You
mm,
have enough success coming from that one result where now you've got a bunch of extra opportunity to play with, extra time now to learn a new strategy, another income stream. And you don't just take off the time on the one that you were trying to get real results with and then add a second and the third. And now you've spread yourself so thin, you're not getting any results and
Mm,
you're driving yourself nuts. And then you go here, there's a new strategy you're supposed to be implementing. There's a new process you should be adding in. Look at my teaching. It's all around simplifying it to where you can focus the same thing you're doing, whatever it is you're teaching or whatever it is you're trying to implement, but just do it in a way where you can get better results. It's
mhm.
not trying to tell you guys to have 5 to 7, 10 different offers. I'm telling you guys, focus on one thing you can get results with. The art of business, the audience that you serve, get really clear on that. The result that you can get for that audience, that result that is actually measurable. I'm not saying results, I'm saying result, end with a T. You only need one thing that you can actually get real results with. And then what you get paid for is how much time it takes for them to get those results. Because now they can measure it in value and they can say, okay, well, dude, that's a no brainer. In 3 months, I could have that done. I've been paying thousands of dollars trying to figure this out on my own, spending countless time. Man, if I was to pay myself hourly in this, I might as well pay myself $1 an hour for what I'm trying to get on this value.
Mhm.
Right. So it's really just getting honed in on something super specific. It could be just one thing that you're actually getting real results with and block out all the noise.
I love it. That's a great advice for especially for us new entrepreneur. Oh my God. I started Facebook and then I'm like, it's not getting a whole lot of success. Then I started Instagram. I'm like, oh my God, I can't stand Instagram. It's too perfect. I don't like perfection. I like flaws. I like realness. I like something that's genuine. I mean, I'm not judging. I mean, it's beautiful Instagram, but I can't do Instagram because I just feel this pressure of perfection and I don't like that. LinkedIn, I was like, people are saying, oh my God, you got to be on LinkedIn. So I started LinkedIn and I was like, oh my God, it has to be TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So, I mean, how do you decide? Okay, so now let's say I want to hone in on one and just be focused because you are right. Consistency, 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 constant, constant. Keep going in that same direction, the focus. Eventually, it will start getting traction and it will build momentum. Totally true. I mean, because I remember like my idol, Bruce Lee, always said, focus, cut out all of the noise. Now, how do you decide when you have all of this? Like in my case, do I choose Facebook? Do I choose Instagram? Do I choose TikTok? Do I choose LinkedIn? How do I choose? Whatever I
Choose what
prefer?
you like. Exactly.
I'm definitely
Choose
gonna
what
go
you
with
like because
TikTok.
you're not going to want to do it if it's not fun.
Exactly. That's
You're not going to
true.
go on Instagram and try to be perfect when you don't want to be perfect. You're
Yeah.
not going to go on LinkedIn and create a bunch of content and engage in DMs and all this stuff. That's not fun for you. Like
Hmm.
making posts on Facebook, sharing memes, posting stuff about my family. That's fun for me. I could do that all day. And now I
Hmm.
found a way to get paid to do it. Every 5 to 10 posts, I'll make some type of business invite. I don't actually sell anything. I just ask to attract the audience I'm looking for. Like go scroll through my Facebook and you'll see like maybe every 10 posts or so, it'll say
Hmm.
something like, hey, I'm looking for speakers. Hey, I'm looking for coaches.
Hmm.
What topic do you speak on? What topic do you coach on? Like super simple stuff just to get people talking. And then the DMs is where I'll end up creating business opportunities. So, looking at what you want to monetize,
Hmm.
find an area that you enjoy being, right? I mean, think about it. If you like going to the gym,
Hmm.
right, and you go to the gym every day, you're going to meet people that like to go to the gym. You'll probably make some friends that like to go to the gym. And all of a sudden, you'll be happier. You're just surrounded by a bunch of people that have like minded interests. Same thing for me in basketball. I love playing basketball. I don't have a lot of friends in business. I have a lot of clients and associates, but not people that I'm just hanging out with for no reason that don't know me because I'm in business. But
Hmm.
I go play basketball and these guys don't know who I am. I like basketball. They like basketball. And I'm making friends with people that like basketball. The
Hmm.
same thing goes for business. You got to find at least one place you like going to
Hmm.
that it's easy for you. There's my other formula, the 3 E's. It's easy for you. It's exciting
Right.
for you to go learn about and talk about.
Mhm.
and you've got experience in getting results. That's
Mm.
it. Every place you go to, whether it's going and finding events on Eventbrite, going to meetups, going to networking groups, posting on social medias, finding groups to be a part of on Facebook, all of these things have audiences that you can be engaging with. Yeah, it's going to take some time. When you first walk into a room, you're not always the life of the party and everyone's just coming over and talking to you. Sometimes you've got to make some waves. You got to actually get some attention.
Mhm.
And you're not going to do that if you're not doing something you actually enjoy doing.
Oh my god, it's so true. Like, you put it in a way where it's the 3 E. I wrote that down, the 3 E. It is so easy to retain and remember. I read this book where they're, like, making circles of, like, your interests and your passion and the middle circle of stuff, and you gotta focus on the middle. I'm like, "How I've lost after the few circles. I can't even retain what message they're trying to tell me." But your 3 E's, it is so true, like, across why when I'm looking at the Kardashian, I don't watch their show, but like the Kardashian, what is it? It's something that it's easy for them, something that's exciting, something that they have experience for. We're looking in your life, like, I read in a book where somebody developed a map because they're going to Boston and people get lost in terms of tragic, I mean, in like routes and stuff like this. So they built the map because they enjoy doing that. And then they realized that there's an interest, people, there's an audience worth. Then they start selling the map and they started a whole business on creating other maps for other areas. So start with something that's easy, that you enjoy, and then experience that you have. So thank you so much, Manny, because I could see that. And there's actually a beautiful book that says, I still have it. It's called The $100 Startup. Great book. You don't need a whole lot of money to start up any kind of business, and they give you a whole bunch of different idea of how to start with a business that interests you, and then how you get excited about it, and then with your experience how you can generate a huge income. So if you didn't remember anything out of this whole podcast, if you remember this, you're going to be making a whole lot of money. So thank you for answering my answer. I realize now. So I think it's going to be something. It's between Facebook and TikTok. Something that I like to do. It's not time consuming. What I like about TikTok is my kids are already on it and they're super technology oriented. Me, I'm clueless. So they'll guide me.
They will teach you. Trust me. My
Exactly. They'll
daughter,
teach
like
me.
I was telling you guys earlier today, she watches these TikTok dances of the Wednesday dance
Yes.
and sees them all in black dresses. She has no black dress. She's like, Daddy, I need a black dress. I can't make my TikTok without that black dress. Right. So they know, and she's like 8 years old. So, getting them to help you, and that could be just more fun family time. How many times me and the family have made TikToks just for fun? And these kids are
Hmm.
like, that was the best day ever. And we're just making funny stuff, right? You could turn that around and actually have a business conversation with that and attract the audience that you're looking to attract and have a way to be able to go do something that's fun, but
Hmm.
also provides value to the audience you're looking to reach.
Yeah, and I think TikTok would be great for me because they're already posting stuff and it's a beautiful bonding. I'm like, yeah, because I often feel guilty. Like right now, they're super sweet and they know it's like back to back podcasts and stuff. So they're super sweet and they're keeping themselves entertained between 11 and 10. My son just turned 10 in December. And so I've always feel guilty as a mom, like, oh my God, I'm not spending time with my children. I want to be. So this is going to be a beautiful opportunity. They get to brainstorm their ideas and things that they like, what's on
Oh, they'll
trend,
come
which
up
I
with
have
so
no.
many cool ideas
I
that
know.
you could use. Like, hey, what's a trending video right now that we can turn into a business conversation? Right? We talk
Exactly.
about one of my podcast shows, but we're doing like a different dance or we're sharing a different article or something or using a certain song.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, they know all of the things that are popping, right? That's hype
that's
or,
it.
that's no cap, whatever words they're using these days.
That's it. And I mean, and with my boyfriend too, it's like it's gonna be fun. He loves dancing, so he'll show me a few dance moves and stuff. It'll be our couple bonding time, and with the children, and I get business into the whole mix as well.
and and be authentic, right? Like
Absolutely.
literally explain and tell people in your videos like I've this is my third TikTok ever. I want to be able to bond more with my kids, but I'm also going to talk about what I do in business, right?
Mhm.
And so join me on this journey. People love that type of stuff where they see the before and after over a period of time. With like, man, I remember watching Ryan. She was just so shy in the camera, wasn't really dancing that well. Her boyfriend was dancing way better than her, but now she's over here showing him up, right? That's what they would love to see. That journey is what gets them to become lifelong super fans of you.
Oh my God, you just gave me a whole bunch of things, Manny. See, in a short amount of time, it's that you're just really jam packed with wisdoms and knowledge. Like I've never seen anybody deliver material as good as you do. And how do you get to be so concise? I have no clue. But here's
Me
a question
neither.
that I want to be able to share to teach me how to be concise because I've been trying to be concise, and my boyfriend would like he's very concise. So, I was like I was trying to do something
Embrace the
for
chaos. You don't need to always be concise. You don't always have to be just like me. You're right, right? You're going
yeah.
to attract an audience that loves the random nature of the stuff that you do, right? So don't like embrace it, right? Look at the hummingbird, right? It looks like you like hummingbirds. Do you think that they're concise all the time? Some they're just flying around and they're going around. They'll get concise on a certain plant when they're really excited, right? But other than that, they're zoom, 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 zoom. Like you can't keep up with them. So
True.
embrace it.
Oh, that's a good analogy. I didn't think of it. But the hummingbird is a logo of connection with me and my sisters of her passing. So this is my motivation to spread love because the hummingbird is the symbol of spreading love and joy and happiness to people. So in dedication to my sister from passing away from depression, this is my motivation of doing what I do for Leader for True Love. But the hummingbird makes so much sense from what you just said. I
I
never
guess I'm
thought
really
of
good
it
at the
that.
analogies. I'm looking at a bird. I'm like, a bird can go crazy. I mean, just look at yourself as being a hummingbird. Why not?
And who doesn't love hummingbirds? So thank you for
Right?
that,
They
Manny.
can never catch them though.
That's
Right?
right.
They're fast.
They are wicked fast and they have the highest vibration ever. So a lot of vibration of positivity. Manny, I want to be able to say, like, ask you, like, when you were actually starting in the business, going 10 years back, like what are some of the things that really had a powerful impact on you? You mentioned with regards to a mentor. Was there books? Was there any kind of training that you took that you thought like, oh, this really did like it gave you a milestone? I can look back on my own life, like different things that I did that was really helpful for me. But for you, if there was three items of things that you said, this is the milestone that led me to where I am today.
I guess if I was to pull three right off my head, first
Mhm.
one would be mentorship, right?
Oh,
Finding people I can learn from that already have created the results I want. That's saved me years, probably
mhm,
decades of being able to learn what a lot of these guys already know. Second would be to invest in myself. Some of my best experiences, best return on investment is where I've actually had to pay to be in the room or had to invest myself at a high level that I wasn't thinking I was ready for. And it totally changed and shifted everything. And then
mhm,
serving your way to success versus selling your way to success. For first half of my business, I was selling my way to success. I'd go speak on stages and I'd sell from stage, or I'd be on this whole nationwide tour of just speaking in different rooms in different cities and just trying to close business, not building relationships. And in 2017, I had this conversation with God where it was help the orphans. You have no fear. And it all turned into a completely shifted business model where I focused on serving first. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be selling from stage anymore. I'm going to do this completely different. Never went this route before ever in my life. And I didn't think it was going to work. I was like, man, if I don't have results in like 2 months, I'm going to be homeless.
mm,
And so it was a total shift, but it was a decision that now I teach today because it's a concept that allows me to truly build a foundation of influence and a credibility and authority where in other terms it was just throwing stuff to the wall to see what sticks.
mhm. And would you like recommend like for a young entrepreneur such as myself, like the one thing that there was I watched so many different video that says give your training out for free, and then there's videos like, well, you can't devalue yourself, like isn't your material worth something, so you should charge more. And I just don't know what is the right answer. So I'm like,
Well, look at
see
this.
this. Yeah,
I can go on YouTube right now
yeah.
and I can go watch a billionaire
Mhm.
interview a billionaire
Mhm.
completely free. The
Mhm.
information has no value. Okay. If that was the case, everyone would be skinny, rich, and happy, as Les Brown says, if information was just the key to success. It
Mhm.
isn't. It's the implementation of that information. I could tell you all day long. We're on this event for 3 days this week,
Mhm.
and 97% of the people are going to take copious notes. They're sitting
Mhm.
there like, oh, this is amazing. What mind blown. Oh my God. This is putting all in the chats. I got to share it on social. I'm going to kill it in 2023. Yet 97% aren't going to take any action whatsoever. And I'm given the blueprint, I'm given the process, the
Mhm.
whole enchilada, and
Mhm.
they still won't take action.
Mhm.
Information has no value. It's the
Mm.
implementation,
Right.
right? Back in the day, we used to be able to sell books, no problem. We could sell physical books right out of the back of our thing, and people would eat them up. People would walk around with books because they crave the information. We're
Mhm.
now in information overload,
Mm.
right? 72 hours of YouTube videos are uploaded every minute. And that was years ago.
Mhm.
72 hours. That's so much information that everybody thinks they know the answer.
Mhm.
But what you want to get paid for is the implementation of that information. I use information to get data, right? I
Mhm.
would rather get a bunch of cell phone numbers and give away my process because
Mhm.
now I got a network of people that need what I do. They already said, hey, I need that service. I need that strategy that you get paid for, right?
Mhm.
And give it to them for free because they're not going to take action. I'm just getting a prospect. I'm getting a qualified lead. I'm getting somebody that says, I see you as the expert, Manny. I love your topic. I need your help.
Mhm.
What more qualified in business is that? Right.
Mhm.
So, the idea that you want to sell information and sell low ticket, unless you have like all of your high ticket programs, all of your one on one coaching and group coaching is like maxed out to the max, and you've got people knocking on your door trying to do business with you and you can't keep up with it. Maybe that's when you start selling information. Right.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
at the beginning, you want to sell implementation. You
Mhm.
want to sell the ability to say, I'm the accessible expert. I have the time now that I could spend in helping you get that result and charge them high ticket for it and
Mhm.
use your do it yourself version, your free version,
Mhm.
as the hey, I'll give this to you for free. Answer some questions for me. Give me some feedback. Let me know if it works. If they can't afford your high ticket, keep them in the free zone. That's
Mhm.
my strategy. I mean, I can't say this is the one size fits all,
For
but
sure.
if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're an author, you're a speaker, you want to get paid as an expert in what you do,
Mhm.
then utilize information to get data so you can build your list, build your network,
Mhm.
charge for the implementation because they're not doing it. And they're not
Mhm.
going to do it unless somebody's hand holding them in the process or they're actually doing it for them.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's such good information. And the one thing that I retained from there's so many things that I retained from your 2 days training, and I can't wait for some more training. But the one thing that really resonated with me, which is your style, is that you know what? Take what Manny is teaching you, build it to your own flavor, put your own spice around, like a spin around it. Go figure out what works for you. Like this style works for Manny, and then build on what style that's working for Manny. And use all those concepts as well, and then he's going to be able to teach you some stuff. And if you like what he's teaching, definitely check it out. And I mean, he's more credible than, like, just in the short amount of time we barely cover, there's so much that he can teach. But all that just to say that one thing I've learned from you, which is your style, is that you learned from so many different masters, so many mentor. You built your own version, going with your own instinct of what works and keeping it simplistic. There's nothing that people want more than simplicity and just tell me where do I get from point A to point B. If you can figure
Exactly.
that out, then you got a magic formula that people may want. So I love that
That's
about
literally
you.
what everyone needs to do in business is simplify your process, right?
Mhm.
Whatever it is that you get results with, whether it's I'm teaching real estate, I'm doing life insurance, I'm creating a podcast, right? It's taking the process of how you do that and just simplifying it and
Mhm.
saying, this is the step by steps. This is what I do, right? When you're explaining something that you do as a process, it's usually a lot easier for them to consume versus trying to get them motivated about an idea, right? Or
Mhm.
change a mindset on this concept. It's just saying, this is what I do, right?
Mhm.
Notice when I was walking through, a lot of my presentation was, what would Manny do? And I
Yeah.
just made a
Yeah.
couple points. I would just do this, guys. This is exactly what I would do in this same scenarios, this same situation. And
Mhm.
this may work for you, may not for your business model. But if you can check off a couple of these boxes, then it's going to work very well because it's a process. That process is what gets the results. You could fill in any type of service or any type of specialty or any kind of topic, but the
Mhm.
process is still the same. It just comes down to conversations, asking questions, being personable, right? And helping people. That's what
Mhm.
we're naturally capable of doing.
Mhm. Mhm. And there's no greater how do you say, like, gratifying thing to be able to make a living serving people, like, to be able to give that. There's something so much more than what money cannot buy. And I know that we're coming close to the hour. I want to be able to honor this, Manny. Before we leave, I want to be able to promote any kind of workshops or trainings or conference, any retreat you may have. Do you want to share with the people? Please do share them.
Sure. So I host a 3-day event. We're coming up on our third day. This is the very first time that I've actually publicly broke down the process in this way. I did a whole PowerPoint presentation and somehow I'm getting it down to 90 minutes exactly the first round I'm doing. It's crazy. I don't know how I'm doing that. But I will be doing this at least once a month. If they go to collab2success.com, and that's collab2success.com. There's a free registration link. You could just sign up for the next event. Whenever our next one is, you'll see it right there. You can still sign up for the one that we have right now. We have replays available. There's a private Facebook group that you guys can access it. So look at it as like the do-it-yourself version of what people pay me thousands of dollars to do for them. I
Mhm.
just give you guys the entire process step by step. You can even watch me in double speed. So that way you can even cut down the time even more. Watch me in 45 minutes, break down what I've done over the last 10 years as an entrepreneur, a speaker, a coach, author, a consultant, and, really help you guys understand how to do what I'm doing.
Mhm. And definitely go and see it and register for it because it's really worth it. I mean, I feel privileged to be able to have that. And if you're able, like Manny said early on, if you're able to implement one thing, one single thing in your business, it can make a whole lot of difference. So here, you actually put it triple W collab2success.com, which I will share everything, Manny, when we're gonna actually launch it off on the social media. I will let you end with your last quote that has served you well in your life and that continue to inspire and help you be able to fulfill your mission. What is that one quote that you have to share with us?
One of my favorite quotes is a quote that I started. I had my first ever book that I was a part of is called The Hustle Code. And the first thing in it is this quote from this unnamed philosopher. I still don't know to this day who wrote it, but the quote goes, I believe that we are all created for greatness, not mediocrity, that we are to live our lives accordingly, striving to be agents of change as we attempt to leave this world a better place than we found it.
Wow, it's really good. It's actually pretty close to what Bruce Lee says.
Maybe
Different
it is
form.
Bruce Lee. I'm gonna have to
I
figure it
don't
out,
think it's
right?
Bruce Lee though, but he says similar something because Bruce Lee is a philosopher himself. But it's very close to what he says. Basically, what he said is, and I'm not good at quoting people. So, in this life, you are an expert of what exactly did he say? An artist of life. Strive to be an artist of life, to be able to live at your full expression of who you are, what you're put on this earth to do, to be able to leave this world knowing that everything of who you are, you put it all out there. So when he actually made the Enter the Dragon, the movie, and it was the first Asian in a North American world to be able to put on the big white screen, and they had a perception of how they wanted to be able to portray him, and he was staying true to his conviction, not doing the filming, and they lost a whole bunch of money because he had a certain vision of who and his true expression of what he wants to show and present it out to the world. So he lived to his fullest expression. I mean, passed away at a very young age, and most of us can't say that we did all of that. So every single day of what I do, when I do it, I want to be able to use the model of Bruce Lee, and there's so many other model out there, is to live to my fullest expression of who Ree is, so that when I leave this world, I know I gave it my all.
I love it. Great, great message.
Thank
This
you
is a
so
good
much.
interview. I had fun.
Thank you so much, Manny. It was a pleasure having you. And I know the audience are actually going to be reaching out to you and they'll be connecting with you, but definitely check out his website and then check out the link and register to that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye bye.